There were two major evils of the 20th century. In many ways, they were very much alike. Both repressed their people. Both were responsible for the slaughter of millions of innocents. These were totalitarian states, and the government was God. I'm speaking, of course, about the blight of communism and Adolf Hitler's Nazi Germany. Our nation, the United States of America, fought and defeated both. Communism and Nazism were two sides of the same coin, brutal, dictatorial, and collectivist. The good of society, in their mind, overwhelmed any semblance of individual rights or liberty, and everybody lost as a result. By contrast, America was built on the notion of individual rights and liberty. The government is not supposed to be boss, but rather we the people. Liberty wins. We beat the Nazis and the commies. But our greed and our complacency allowed the weed of collectivism to take root and threaten the very liberties that make us great. It's a philosophical question, but has some profound political implications. This is going to impact your wallet and, more importantly, our nation's future. In the Economic War Room, we meet with amazing people all the time. People like Alan West and Dr. Ben Carson, Nigel Farage, Star Parker, Lieutenant General Stephen Quast, Major General Bob Dees, Jackie Deason, Gordon Chang, Glenn Beck. These people come through the Economic War Room, and we're constantly looking for solutions. We're talking about the economic war and how we can win it. These brilliant people come here because we are solution-oriented. We bring solutions to economic problems and economic solutions to global problems. But free enterprise is being strangled and individual liberty is being crushed, and we work on that as well. Your rights are being eroded. It's a collectivist effort, and we're facing all enemies, foreign and domestic. So we bring in top people, and we sound the alarm, and we also craft solutions. And you get a glimpse of that on a weekly basis, a half an hour a week or so. But more importantly, you get access to our economic battle plans. Those are the real solutions for how we solve these problems. You're more than viewers. You're economic patriots, and you have a role to play. We're facing an army of woke corporations. Who would ever imagine that Woca-Cola, would be telling their employees to be less white, or telling Georgia how to run their elections, or Hasbro, a toy company, would be shaming kids because they're of the wrong race, saying that, babies 2 months old are racists. And yet, according to whistleblowers, that's what's happening. Or the NFL saying, we're the gay NFL. Or the NBA preaching that we have to be tolerant towards China, but oppose freedom in Hong Kong. How did that happen? The answer is it's all about the money. The Chamber of Commerce has been bought off by foreign interests, and domestic Marxists are using the ESG movement and ESG scoring to take control of American companies. And it's really your money that's paying for all this nonsense, and now it's threatening your basic liberties. There's no freedom of speech. If you say the wrong thing, you get to be canceled. And it's not the government officially doing this. They've privatized the oppression, and they've let corporate giants do their bidding. This is blatantly unconstitutional, but it is happening. We saw this firsthand when Press Secretary Psaki admitted that the White House was flagging Facebook posts for misinformation. Then she said that anyone who violates the government narrative on one social media should be banned on all social media. Let me quote to you from Dinesh D'Souza, who wrote in the Epoch Times. He says, the government is basically using private actors to perform a function that, if the government performed it, would flagrantly contravene the Constitution. Fortunately, the Supreme Court recognizes this. In a landmark 1973 case, Norwood versus Harrison, the Supreme Court held that government may not induce, encourage, or promote private persons to accomplish what it constitutionally is forbidden to accomplish. It's going on from D'Souza. It says, it's fascist governments that perfected the technique of making private companies do their bidding. The Nazis called this Gleichschaltung, a term which means coordination. The Nazi goal was to bring the entire private sector into lockstep with Nazi ideology, and in no area was this forced conformity more aggressively enforced than in the domain of free speech. Here's the problem. Your investment dollars are making all this possible if you own shares and stocks through index funds or if you fail to exercise your voting rights as an investor. The good news is that today is your liberation day. This is the day you wake up and take back your freedoms, but you're going to need good information.